In 2011, the Wildlife Conservation Society piloted a program called Manage Access, a rights-based system to reduce fishing pressures caused by traditional small-scale unregulated fishing. It also provides incentives for fishers not to engage in illegal fishing and offering secured fishing grounds.
Prior to Manage Access, there was this approach of cherry picking. So you'll have fishers that will only come, what you call opportunistic, come to Lighthouse Reef to fish for conch. At the opening, just first 2 trips, they will do the conch harvesting, and then you don't see them again until the following year. But yet the stakeholders that fish here has to stay behind and continue to fish with whatever stock remains.
A few years ago, the WCS embarked on a national rollout of the program. As a result, fishing zones were created and fisher folk selected which 2 areas they would use to fish. The Belize Audubon Society and the Fisheries Department and other partners oversee the use and access of Zone 7, the Lighthouse Reef Atoll.
We know who the resource users are now. We have fisher folk who have to have they have to have the license that designates them for usage in this zone, and the vessels also now have to be demarcated for usage of this zone. So it has helped us kind of having a list of who are the fishers. In terms of the science for decision making and the data that you would need for kind of the next steps, we're not there yet, but I think the hope is that we're getting closer as we move along. Manage access, ultimately, you shouldn't have too much mobility, but the idea is that only you can fish that area too. So if you don't fish Lighthouse and it's bad this year, you're assured that next year that it should be healthy, right? Because no one else is fishing if you weren't fishing.
Limiting the number of fishers to specific zones has multiple benefits. The WCS reports that when the Managed Access program was introduced at the Glover's Reef Marine Reserve, infractions went from 9% to 4% in 4 years. In other areas like Lighthouse Reef, there's also good news.
Them seeing the benefits of having that close access where they have access to the fishing grounds, but more so looking at the production and the harvesting and the amount of conch, the amount of lobster they're delivering. They have seen an increase. Of course, there might be some that may disagree, but the majority of them has said that they have seen a productive lobster seen out at Lighthouse Reef this year.
And many fishermen see the value of the Managed Access program. It was a tough sell at first, but over the years, fishermen have started to see the benefits.
It works good because they protect the conchs right now close. They protect the conchs right now. Lobster. When lobster close, they protect lobster, and when they open, it's good because you catch good lot of lobster.
Over the years, have you ever had any experience where you go to an area and you can't find anything?
Yes, you can see the difference when they protect the resorts.
But the program is by no means a perfect solution to some of the challenges to fisheries management in Belize. A big part of the data gathered is done by way of these logbooks, which fisherfolk must use if they want to obtain a license. But they can also underreport their catch or manipulate the system. And if illegal fishing is not properly controlled, it can throw off the balance of this management system.
At the end of the trip, our staff is then to board the vessel, validate what this log sheet has, and then sign off on it. But like you're saying, they're not always up to date. There is a glitch in that a lot of these fisher folk also go to turn F and they'll come and tell us, oh, but I'm not at the end of my trip. And we're like, but you're at the end of using Zone 7. So that is a loophole that we're trying to close right now with the Fisheries Department. We've advised them that this is something that we've identified a weakness, in that we are not validating all of those log sheets. And one of our concerns is also them filling it out. We have a lot of Spanish speakers and the logbooks are in English. We also have recommended that some keys be developed in terms of like data keys, pictures of the fish and what's the name of the fish, because in Spanish the fish might have a different name, the common names vary. So we're working, Fisheries has already developed some of these, and so we're working to get this information out.
Then you also have the issue of illegal fishers as well.
Right.
So that's a problem for the whole concept of managed access.
Exactly. So illegal fishing is always kind of a side. It throws off the entire. If you had a beautiful theory and you had it all laid out, illegal fishing is kind of the your side deviation that comes out of nowhere that can throw the entire game off. Illegal fishing has to be deterred and curbed if we really want to see the true status. Because, for instance, if I am talking about conchs, and all the data is showing that conchs in Lighthouse will have a very good season when the season opens in October. We're seeing a lot of young juveniles, and so we should be having high production of conchs product. So we can then indicate to fishers and to the fisheries department, oh, it's looking really good. However, if we have a lot of illegal fishing out of season, undersized, and that's obviously not reported, then that will throw off the entire numbers.
But despite the kinks that need to be ironed out, this model has been recognized as an important tool to help safeguard and better manage resources.
So managed access is being seen as a model throughout the wider Caribbean and around the world. It's a new approach to fisheries management, and Belize has been a leader and continue to be a leader as it relates to the implementation of managed access.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.